Minister, again, it's a very straight question. When will the final report of the status of the final report into the illegal birth registrations, where is it? When will it be published? Carmagat.
I expect to receive the final report of the independent reviewer, Ms. Marion Reynolds, this week, as it is the end of May. I had previously expected that this report would be submitted to me by Easter. In her third report, which I published, Ms. Reynolds informed me that this would now be delayed until the end of May. I understand that the reason for the delay was that the field work carried out by both TUSLA and the Adoption Authority of Ireland was complex, forensic, and resource intensive, and took longer than anticipated. This field work has now reached a conclusion. In addition, there were considerable challenges in relation to data protection that had to be overcome, which also delayed the process at one point. But I'm pleased to say that these issues have been resolved. The two previous interim reports from the reviewer have also been published on my department's website. The purpose of this review, which I initiated following the discovery of cases of illegal registrations in St. Patrick's Guild records, is to determine if similar evidence of illegal birth registrations can be identified from the records of other former adoption agencies and other relevant bodies. The final report and its findings will provide information to assist me in identifying the necessary next steps. I am extremely conscious of the impact that news of an illegal registration can have on those affected. This is particularly true in circumstances where those impacted had no indication of any irregularities, and it seems to me that this must be one of the most difficult and traumatic episodes that anyone would have to deal with in a lifetime. I will study the independent reviewer's report closely as soon as I receive it and will reflect carefully on what to do next to assist all those involved.
Information that you will have it by the end of the month, because there have been previous dates that moved. It was to be done by October last, then it was to be done by April. I think Easter was mentioned somewhere, and now the end of May. So can you just confirm you will have it in 2 days' time, the end of May? Then can you give a date for its publication? Now you realise, and I know you do, that this came from the discovery by TUSLA, they said, of 126 cases of. Now, however, that's based on a lot of previous work. We have the Adoption Association of Ireland brought matters to previous government's attention. The Cork Examiner deserves an award, Connolly TD, for all the work that paper and he has done. So all of this has been wrought out. I welcome what's happened, Minister, but it wasn't a proactive decision by the government. It was wrought from the pain of people and from the good work done by the paper and by. So it's really important, as with the previous question, that we have trust. And if a date is set, that then you have the report and then a date is given for its publication. Thank you.
With that, I agree with what you just said there. I have been told that I will have it at the end of this week. Okay, so I can say, that's what I can confirm. And I have tried to describe in my answer to you, Deputy, the reasons why, even though I understood it was coming earlier, why it was delayed. And I think the Deputy would be aware, not in terms of just this circumstance, but in other contexts as well, that our GDPR legislation can be really challenging, especially in this regard. That's not the only reason, though. But so that's to answer your first question. In relation to, I will publish it. I will bring it. I need to, as I've done before, bring it to. I need to study it first. It is the final report, and I will be bringing it to my colleagues, but I will be publishing it. I will, and so therefore it will be able to be debated here. And I think, Deputy, I agree with you. I acknowledge and recognize the previous work that underlies what we're now looking at, and I have said at other times in this chamber, acknowledged also the work of Conor O'Flaherty. I know him, and we try to work as closely with him as we can as we move forward on these issues, and other journalists.
That you're going to publish the report, that's welcome. If you could give an indicative date, that would be helpful. When I refer to the previous work, each government with the point I'm making is it was wrought. This is a scoping exercise, I think, that was actually wrought from the pain of people. the information that you're looking at was available. It was available way back in 2010. I could go further back, but I won't. My time is limited. And each and every occasion, each government refused to act on it. That's the difficulty we have. So I won't labour the point. You're telling me you're going to have it by the end of the month and it's going to be published. So if you could just give us an indicative date of the publication.
I would like to be able to do that, Deputy, but I don't feel I can just right now. I don't know what it's going to say. And depending on what it says, that might mean I need more time with it. So, but I absolutely commit I will publish it. And secondly, in relation to your other commentary, yes, I accept that. And not unlike the Deputy, I have people coming up to me, who also tell me their stories too, that they're, that they don't have any paperwork, but they do have knowledge of illegal adoptions or registrations or whatever language we want to use. So I think I do have some sense of the breadth of the issues that this touches on. It was an effort of this government under my direction to begin some systematic analysis to try to understand and see the extent in terms of evidence, and on the basis of the evidence, as you know, that means we can do additional things, and I would love to see that be able to continue.